In the darkness of night, an old abandoned school stands silently, shrouded in complete stillness. There's an eerie silence all around, as if something is watching. Rohan, a 24-year-old young man, stands in front of the school. As his footsteps echo, it feels like someone is behind him. Though he hesitates, a strange force compels him to enter. Rohan steps into the entrance of the school. Suddenly, a window shatters, followed by a sound that disturbs his mind. He turns around quickly but sees nothing. Still, he moves forward and enters the school. All around are broken books, notebooks, and chairs. It's a strange world where everyone is left, but something remains buried. Rohan begins to enter classroom after classroom. In one of them, he finds an old photograph lying on the floor, of a girl with a strange smile on her face. The girl in the picture seems to be silently saying something to him. When Rohan carefully picks up the photo, he feels as if the girl is staring at him and smiling. Holding the photo, Rohan looks around again, but suddenly he senses that someone is standing behind him. He turns quickly, but no one is there. Yet, an invisible chill spreads through his body, as if something is surrounding him. Trembling with fear, Rohan ventures deeper into the school. A dark corridor lies ahead. He moves toward it, not knowing why he's being drawn in. A strange coldness is gripping him. The walls seem to grow darker, and he feels like something is chasing him. Suddenly, a door swings open with a loud bang. Rohan cautiously walks in. Inside, he sees an old chair rocking back and forth on its own. No one is sitting on it, but the chair moves as if controlled by an unseen force. Rohan shivers with fear, sensing some strange energy surrounding him. At that moment, Rohan hears an eerie sound, a child crying. Impossible. Were there ever children in this school? Where is that sound coming from? He moves closer, trying to find its source, but sees nothing. Only a faint shadow moving in the darkness, terrifying him even more. With suffocating unease, Rohan ventures deeper into the school. All around is only darkness and cold air. Suddenly he hears a strange noise, a creaking, broken chair sound. But there's no chair in sight. It's as if something invisible is following him. He takes a step forward, but each step seems to bring him closer to something more terrifying. He begins to feel as though the school itself is spinning around him, a swirling danger. Rohan keeps walking through the darkness, his mind spinning with fear. Suddenly, an old lamp flickers to life, swaying slightly. In its light, something is trembling, a shadow. Rohan looks ahead but sees nothing. His eyes feel heavy, almost blackened, as if some invisible force is invading him from within. The lamp quietly dies out again, leaving Rohan trapped in intense unrest and fear. Suddenly, Rohan feels as though he's never even come to this school. But why does this place feel so familiar? As if time and space have merged and he's lost within it. One door after another appears, some shut, some wide open, like they're part of a magical trap keeping him in. He opens one door and finds himself inside another old classroom. The same sight again, broken chairs, torn books, and an eerie silence inside the school. But this silence seems to carry a dangerous warning. Now Rohan feels something behind him. He turns, but nothing is there. In fear, he keeps walking forward, but an unsettling feeling grows stronger. His legs no longer want to move, and he feels all his strength draining away. He becomes dizzy as fear and panic grip him tightly. Standing by a door, he suddenly hears the same sound again. The child's crying, now even closer. The crying grows louder and more distinct, as if a child's presence is nearby. Rohan can't restrain himself any longer. He follows the sound, trying to find the source. The crying is right in front of him, calling to him. He tries to open the door, but feels rigid and immovable, refusing to budge even an inch. His hands are shaking, and deep inside he knows something is terribly wrong with this school. Suddenly, Rohan notices some strange sentences written using what appears to be rooster feathers. They're carved into the school walls. Some of the letters seem to point in certain directions, catching his attention. Just then, a sound is heard. The door creaks open, as if something is trying to lure him inside. Though still terrified, Rohan steps through the door. Inside, he sees a darkened window. No light can enter from outside. Behind the window, shadows dance in the darkness. Rohan shuts the door and stands alone in the gloom. Now nothing surrounds him except a chilling cold. Suddenly a lamp flares to life and Rohan sees an eye is emerging through the wall. The eye is observing him intensely, and Rohan realizes it's a creation of some strange force. The deeper the eye stares, the more overwhelming the fear becomes. Rohan stands with the door closed behind him, his breathing turning unnaturally rapid. As he looks at the eye, he feels as though something is entering his body. This eye isn't like any normal eye. It feels alive, an invisible force trying to consume him. For a moment, Rohan thinks he can escape, but his feet feel like they're rooted to the ground. There's no way out. He knows. This strange force that has appeared before him will not let go so easily. Trembling, Rohan looks behind him. In the corner of the room, an old clock ticks, but the sound only deepens his fear. The clock continues to run eerily until the second hand suddenly stops, as if time itself has frozen. Rohan begins to move quickly, his thoughts scattered, his focus broken by terror. Behind him, one after another, strange shadows follow, as if they're chasing him. Rohan starts opening doors one by one. A little farther ahead, he sees a small mirror hanging on the wall, but his reflection appears bizarre. Confusion and fear blend on his face, because in the mirror, his reflection starts to change. He no longer sees himself, but a strange shadow takes his place. Rohan wants to scream, but his voice is trapped in his throat. The shadow in the mirror moves toward him, as if trying to grab him. Somehow Rohan pulls himself away from the mirror. He walks quickly, but in his mind, a terrifying sound keeps echoing. The entire school remains silent, an eerie silence that only heightens his fear. Suddenly, Rohan feels as though someone is behind him. He quickly turns around but sees nothing. In that moment, he realizes the cause of his fear may not be real, but rather his own unraveling mental state, distorting his senses. Now, Rohan doesn't want to stay any longer. He rushes to the school corridor, trying to find a way out. But in front of him stands another door, one he's never seen before. It's completely different, almost hidden in darkness. Rohan stands breathless. Is this a new path, where he can overcome past fears and discover something new? Or is it another deception? This door, emerging from the darkness, leads him deeper into terrifying uncertainty. Finally, Rohan decides to open the door. As it creaks open, an old letter falls out in front of him, one he will never forget. The letter reads, "No matter how far you run, your fate will bring you back to this place. This is where your real battle begins." Rohan is shaken, for he knows a deep dark mystery lies behind these words. As he reads, his heart races as if danger is drawing closer, and soon he realizes he may be lost forever within this haunted school. Now Rohan knows he cannot escape. The school's doors are shut, and the invisible force chasing him is inescapable. For a brief moment, he feels completely cut off from the world. Before him lies deep darkness, and within his mind, strange memories begin to surface of a school, a building he never recognized, yet has somehow been brought back to. For a moment, Rohan thinks this journey might be coming to an end, but a spark of hope lights up in him. No matter how frightened he is, he must find his way through this place of darkness. He tries to open a door, but it doesn't budge. Then strange sounds fill the space around him, as though a mysterious force is entering his very soul. Rohan knows this room and this school are deeply connected to his existence. Rohan is now completely lost. The room is surrounded by darkness, and strange noises echo from every direction. Cold air brushes against his face, yet he feels no warmth within his body. He knows this is the final chance, the last battle. If he doesn't act now, he will be trapped in this darkness forever. His heartbeat quickens, and he takes a deep breath. In front of him stands that black door he had never approached before. But now, he knows exactly what he must do. He has to open it. As Rohan steps forward to open the door, a strange force suddenly restrains him. It feels like the school has completely taken control over him. In the darkness, several eyes are fixed on Rohan. These are no ordinary eyes. They follow each other, like predators tracking every move of their prey. Rohan realizes he is about to face all the spirits of the school, one by one. Rohan then feels the dark presence creeping up behind him. He dashes toward the window, but it's tightly shut. There's no way out. His body grows heavier, as if something is pressing down on him. His legs are paralyzed, he can't move. Just then, a terrifying sound fills the air, the creak of an old door opening. The noise consumes the entire room. As the door slowly opens, a horrifying presence emerges before him. It is the black shadow that had been haunting Rohan all along, a terrifying spirit that wants to completely destroy him. The shadow inches closer to him. Rohan tries to scream, but his voice is stuck in his throat. The shadow stands face to face with him, locking eyes, as if feeding off his fear. Rohan knows his terror is about to peak. This will be the most horrifying moment of his life. Rohan realizes he must find strength within himself. He makes a decision. He will fight against all his fears. The surrounding darkness presses heavily upon him, but he knows he must survive this place. With courage, he steps toward the shadow. Invisible forces try to drag him back, but he holds firm to his resolve. Finally, Rohan discovers his inner power. His eyes gleam with determination, and each step he takes is filled with energy. He knows that the darkness within this school doesn't want to let him go, but he must escape. As he steps toward the shadow, suddenly a powerful light bursts from his hand. The light intensifies, beginning to push the shadow back, but the shadow doesn't give in easily. The light from Rohan's hand spreads across the darkness of the entire school. Suddenly the shadow attacks with greater force. A terrifying energy enters Rohan's body. He feels like he's heading straight toward death, but then he remembers the old letter. No matter how much you try to run, your fate will always bring you back here. Rohan knows this is his final chance. He must win this battle, or he'll be lost here forever. Rohan does not break under fear. A strange power within him begins to rise, helping him stand strong against the dark force. He plants his feet firmly and launches one final attack at the shadow. With the combined force of his energy and the light, the shadow begins to weaken and fade. At last, the shadow vanishes completely, and the darkness within the school begins to lift. Rohan stands in the dark room, finally beginning to breathe again. He knows that although he has won the battle, he is still not entirely safe. Yet he also knows he has taken a major step forward. The terrifying shadows are no longer around him. A strange sense of peace fills his chest, but fear still lingers in his mind. Is this truly the end, or is this entire situation leading to something even worse? Rohan begins to make his way back home. But now, everything has changed. The silence that once filled the school is gone. Light slowly begins to flow around him, and the shadows are nowhere to be seen. However, Rohan starts to feel that something has changed in an unnatural way. His feet feel heavier, and the air around him is filled with a strange scent. It seems as though a new power is returning, but this time it feels different, more like a conclusion. Suddenly, Rohan feels someone standing behind him. He quickly turns around but sees nothing. His eyes tremble. That strange smell and presence are back. He knows that this time his life may end, or something might happen that he could never have imagined. Just then, he remembers his father's words. When faced with fear, don't run. You must find strength within your heart. Holding on to that thought, Rohan gathers his courage and moves forward. Rohan begins to observe his surroundings more carefully. The school's main door is open, but he knows that he hasn't fully escaped yet. The walls of the school seem to call to him again, as if trying to drag him back into the horror. He realizes that this school is offering him one final chance. The only way to escape is to summon that inner strength that will help him survive this ordeal. Slowly, Rohan reaches the school's main door. His hands are trembling as he grips the handle and opens it. The door creaks open with a sound that seems strangely new. But at that moment, another scene unfolds before him. A massive, dark, ghostly entity stands blocking his way. Rohan thinks this might be the end of everything, but he knows that if he has to defeat it one last time, he must stand firm against his fears. Rohan unleashes his inner strength and begins a final battle with the dark force. Light emerges from his hands, pushing back the entity. In the end, the darkness fades, and all the layers of fear covering the school are lifted. Rohan knows he is finally free, or perhaps his journey has simply come to an end here. Rohan walks out of the school. Outside, a calm and normal environment greets him. He begins to breathe again, though an odd sensation lingers in his mind. He knows that his journey through the haunted school is over, but something still remains, a fear that will revisit his mind every day. However, today he understands that the experience has taught him a new strength, and he will never fear again. After leaving the school, Rohan feels as though his entire life is about to begin anew. Even though that strange fear may return to his eyes one day, he knows now that the strength was always within him, and he overcame that fear. Someday the memory of this haunted school will be nothing more than an old story, and he will remember. There is something greater than fear, something that helps give life, and he will never give up.